Welcome back to Mystical Kannada, friends. In our last video, we learnt about the Chalukyas of Badami, and today we shall know more about the Rashtrakutas of Manyaketa dynasty. The Rashtrakutas were one of the very important rulers who came after the Badami Chalukyas in Karnataka history. The Rashtrakutas ruled in Manyaketa from 753 to 982 CE. The most prominent rulers among them were King Dantidurga, King Krishna I, King Dhruva, King Govinda III, King Amoghavarsha I. Their business language was Kannada. Sanskrit and Kannada was the language of scripts and inscriptions. Major literary works and authors during their period are Adi Purana and Vikramarjuna Vijaya by Pampa, Kavi Marda by Amoghavarsha I, Shanti Purana by Ponna, Vaddaradhane by Shivakotacharya. Rashtrakuta was a royal Indian dynasty of Karnataka and masters of old Deccan. The name Rashtrakuta in Sanskrit means Rashtra, meaning country, and Kuta, meaning chieftain. Medieval Sanskrit literature reveals fragments of their lineage, which is thought to be from the Mauryan times, as small clan heads. They belonged to Ratta Vamsha and Yadava clan and were known as the Rattas of Saundatti. Dantidurga, the founder of this dynasty, made the final assault on the Chalukya king in 753 CE and thus established the Rashtrakuta Empire. He was known as the King of Kings, Rajadiraja and Parameshwara. Manyaketa, that is Malkhed in Gulbarga, was their capital. The dynasty reached its zenith under the rule of Dantidurga. Krishna I, Dhruva, Govinda III and Amoghavarsha I, who are considered the greatest of the Rashtrakuta rulers. Krishna I held the title Akala-varsha. Dhruva held titles such as Dharavarsha, Kalivallabha, Nirupana Srivallabha and Narendra Deva. Govinda III's military exploits have been compared to those of Alexander the Great and Arjuna of Mahabharata. His titles were Prabhutavarsha, Narendra, Janavallabha Anupama, Kirti Narayana, Tribhuvanadala, etc. Amoghavarsha I was compared to the legendary empire Ashoka for his interest in the arts and literature and his peace-loving nature. He was called Ashoka of the South and he held titles such as Veeranarayana, Nrupatunga, Atishayadavala, Rattamartanda and Sri Vallabha. The early kings of this dynasty were influenced by Hinduism and the later kings by Jainism. In short, the Rashtrakuta rule was tolerant to multiple popular religions. Jainism, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Buddhism too found support. Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Veeranarayana and Mahalakshmi were worshipped by them. An Arabic text, the Silsilat Tawarik, called the Rashtrakutas one of the four principal empires of the world. Their importance can be gauged from the writings of many Islamic travelers and scholars, especially Al-Masudi and Ibn Khordadbeh of the 10th century CE, who wrote about all the other kings of India at that time. It was the Rashtrakutas who made Kannada popular and a tool of day-to-day communication, though the language had already been in use for a long time. They also patronized Sanskrit, which was actually a language of the elite. The Jain writer Adi Kavi Pampa, widely regarded as one of the most influential Kannada writers, became famous for Adi Purana, written in Champu style, Vikramarjuna Vijaya and Pampa Bharata. King Amoghavarsha I was instrumental in composing groundbreaking works in both languages. His Kavi Marda is the earliest available book on rhetoric and poetics in Kannada and was an important milestone in Kannada poetry. And his Sanskrit work is Prashnottara Malika. Trivikrama's Nalachampu is the first available Sanskrit writing in Champu style. Another notable Jain writer in Kannada was Sri Ponna, patronized by King Krishna III and famed for Shanti Purana, Bhavanaikya Ramabhyudaya, and Jinaksharamale. The other writings were Halayuddha's Kavirahasya, Akalanka's Ashtasahasri, Mahaviryacharya's Ganitasara Sangraha. Rashtrakuta inscriptions were also written in expressive and poetic Kannada and Sanskrit, rather than plain documentary prose. The earliest known Rashtrakuta inscription is the 7th century copper plate grant detailing their rule from Manapura. The Mavalli inscription by King Govinda III, the Shiruru inscription by Amoghavarsha I, the Gangadharam inscription written by poet Jinavallabha, which gives us an account of the life of his elder brother and poet Adi Kavi Pampa. The Kalasa inscription of Govinda IV, which contains various metrical forms. The Atakuru inscription from the reign of King Krishna III, a unique hero stone that eulogizes the valor of a dog called Kali that died fighting a wild boar. The Shishuvina and Kalasa inscriptions and the Jura inscription of King Krishna III of CE 964, which describes his military success, serve as good examples of classic Kannada composition styles popular during that time. The Rashtrakutas were instrumental in establishing an atheistic architectural form now known as the Karnataka Dravida style. The stunning Kailasa temple of Ellora, a rock-cut structure, is the epitome of Rashtrakuta architectural achievement. But many of the caves of Ellora and Elephanta in present-day Maharashtra state have also been created and renovated under the supervision of the Rashtrakutas. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site, the temples at Pattarkal, also come under the sway of the Rashtrakutas. The Jain Narayana temple is said to be solely created by the Rashtrakuta dynasty. The Rashtrakutas built well-known Jain temples at Lokapura in Bagalkot district. All the ministers had to undergo military training and be ready for war at any moment. The empire had a mighty army who were always kept ready, especially in their capital city, for any incursion or invasion. It was divided into 3 units: infantry, cavalry, and elephants. The Rashtrakuta army consisted of large contingents of infantry, horsemen, and elephants. A standing army was always ready for war in a cantonment. It was known as Sthirabhuta Kataka in the regal capital of Manyaketa. The Rashtrakutas issued coins minted in an akkasale, such as Suvarna, Trammas in silver and gold weighing 65 grains, Kalanju weighing 48 grains, Gadyanka weighing 96 grains, Kasu weighing 15 grains, Manjati with 2.5 grains, and Akkam of 1.25 grain. The Rashtrakuta dynasty ruled parts of South India, the modern state of Karnataka in its entirety, along with parts of the current Indian states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. They ruled for about 229 years. That's about the Rashtrakutas of Manyaketa. We shall meet in our next video related to the Chalukyas of Kalyani. Until then, like Kannada, love Kannada, and subscribe to Mystical Kannada for lot more interesting videos about Kannada and Karnataka. Siriganadam Gelge, Siriganadam Balge.